Okay, folks, Captain Paul here. Week 70. I can't believe that. I started a new format on the video, so let's have a big celebration and kind of do a recap of the whole channel and how this thing started, what's going on right now, and what the future looks like for the No Regrets lifestyle, Captain Paul and his YouTube channel, let's call it. So currently, for you guys that don't know, a lot of people will say I'm out here living the dream, and I live on a 50-foot trawler out here in the Florida Keys. And let's back up and I'll tell you how all of that happened. So in 2020, I'm going to back it up even a little bit further than that, because I was working a corporate job. I was a trade show manager for a big trade show company, and I was the rental manager, so I would go to the different trade shows across the whole U.S. So I got pretty good experience, like New York, San Francisco, San Diego, Philadelphia, all the big convention centers. I was at them at least once a year. So I just remember back now thinking about all that and thinking, one day I woke up and I said, oh, I'm just so done. I need a break from this, and how does this end? And so COVID happened. I told my wife, I was married at the time to Beverly, and we're still great friends today, and we still talk almost daily, and I can't wait to go see Daisy next week, because I'm going to go do some yacht training with Weldon on the 37 Regency, and I get to go see my girl Daisy and have dinner with Beverly too at the same time. Anyway, me and Beverly bought a boat, a 35-foot, I think it was a 36-foot a Loop Princess, and we did that America's Great Loop. And in the middle of the loop, we purchased the boat that I currently live on, which is Southern Estate. So when the trade show thing ended for COVID, it was like my awakening, because I always joke around saying, hey, God, you don't owe me any more favors. So anyway, COVID happens. A lot of good stuff and a lot of bad stuff happened for a lot of different people. I lost my father to COVID. But it was a blessing in a way, even for that, because it put him out of his suffering. And then I started and did America's Great Loop also at that same time. So, like I said, it was a blessing and a curse. I'm glad it kind of happened, and you could say good or bad about it. But right now I live in the Florida Keys on a 50-foot boat with my twin brother Pete, and that's where I currently live. After completing the loop now twice, then me and Pete decided to leave for the Bahamas on January 15th of last year, which would be 2024, and we left there from Mobile, Alabama. We did the Panhandle, the Dry Tortugas. We did all of the Florida Keys from Key West all the way down to Miami. We did that trip several times now, from the outside and from the inside, and all preparation of taking Southern Estate here over to the Bahamas. So then we took the boat over to the Bahamas, and we spent about a month over there just running around. We did the West End. We came in at West End. We did all the big loop around here. I'll show you right here on the Navionics chart. We did a big loop around, and then we came through, and then came out through Bimini, and then we came home to Miami. And that trip, we decided to stay out for about a month. Well, after the Bahamas, I had been talking to the company that I work for now, and my whole purpose of buying the boat is just to make that change, that transition. Because here I was 59 when all this happened, 58, 59. And, I said, I want to change my career. So I decided to get my captain's license. And I used the time from America's Great Loop to get my captain's license and the experience. Because a lot of these paper captains will, you can be a paper captain. Anybody can go take the test and pass the test. But do you have the practical experience? So I earned it by doing America's Great Loop. And then I actually got my captain's license, and then we left for the Bahamas, and then I applied for a job at Little Palm Resorts, where I currently am a full-time captain for them, working 4 nights a week, basically, and it's 4 10-hour shifts is what we typically work out at the island. and I run I'll show you a picture here of one of the boats. We just got a brand new boat. It's like a $1.1 million. I hope some of you guys watched the shorts, because last night I did a little short of us pulling into the dock, so it's pretty cool. I'll start working on those videos a little bit because they're actually pretty cool. And anyway, we have 4 crew boats and we get to run those, and what's so cool about it is we get to run them in any weather conditions. Last night wasn't too bad, but the night before that, you know, we're out there in 30 knots of wind docking these boats, and so it makes it for challenging and stuff like that. And especially for a captain like me, I got started late in life with it, so it brings my experience level way up, because now I have, I don't even know, it's getting close to, you know, thousands of dockings now. And anybody, I'll tell it, just like I tell anybody can drive a boat, go dock it, and then dock it in wind and current, because believe it or not, current will affect you 10 times worse than any wind will affect you, and it'll grab the boat from you, and stuff happens very, very quickly. So anyway, so me and Pete, we go do the Bahamas. We come back to Marathon, Florida. It was always kind of in the back of our head that this is where we would stop, make a stand, and start to make that transition to get it into our Social Security, and get that flowing in, because I hadn't had that. We really don't have any money. It's all money that we had saved and stuff like that. So we were living off of our savings over the last 3 years. So it was time to actually get jobs. Besides the revenue that the YouTube channel makes, it was time to get jobs and you know, focus on refilling our bank accounts so that we can go back out. Because lately, I told Pete, I said, since we made some of these new upgrades on the boat, like this new air conditioner, this new wash machine, 4 months ago I was ready to sell this boat and say, let's just get out of here, you know. But now that I got the air conditioner on here and it's working great, the new wash machine doesn't make any noise. You know, it's a pleasure again to be on the boat, just for the few simple changes and a few $1,000s worth of upgrades has made a huge improvement in our life and the quality of our life. And so I'm like telling Pete the other day, I says, hey, I'm ready to, I'm actually getting the bug to go back out. And because when we were doing America's Great Loop, we lost Canada because Canada was completely closed because of COVID. So I've got the itch to take the southern state back up the east coast and then head over to, you know, do all the Canadas, the Thousand Lakes and stuff like that. I don't know if I'll come back around and do the loop or come back down, but anyway, it's just an itch that I have. So whether we do that next year or the year after that is to be determined, because, you know, I live my life, that no regrets lifestyle, and you know, the next opportunity or what's going to happen, you just never know. And I don't ever know. It's always a surprise to me. I think, you know, my long-term goal, I would love to get onto that, you know, 60 or 70 foot. Anybody that watches the channels knows that I really, you know, would love to jump on a 65 foot, 70 foot, 80 foot Fleming and do the world. But so if that opportunity ever comes up, whether it's me as being one of the captains on the boat for a private individual, or me purchasing one and doing it, you know, it's all to be determined. The purchasing one is not looking good, but you just never know. It's just all it takes is one investment. I could hit the lottery. But anyway, it's my dream. I had this dream of, you know, living on this 50-foot boat, and it all came true. So can the rest of the dream come true? I don't know. And I always joke with myself saying, hey, God, you don't owe me any more favors, especially after this one, you know, living on the boat now. I get to live with my twin brother and spend out these last few years with my family right next to me. So it's been just an incredible experience. You know, me and Beverly are still, my ex-wife, are still best friends. Daisy, I'm going to go see her next week in Gulf Shores when I do some yacht training with Weldon on the 36 Regency that he just purchased, which is single screw. I can go back to my favorite stomping grounds over there in Gulf Shores, Alabama. I can't wait to go back. And I think Steve's going to be there with the $1 Million Bayliner too, so I get to say hi to him and see how that goes. I think he's actually got a little tour set up for us, or we got to go do a little boat gig with him on the $1 Million Bayliner. I'll do some videos and some shorts while I'm out there. Hopefully you guys will enjoy those. Anyway, just a quick recap of the channel, especially for you guys that don't know me or who I am. I do help people sell their boats. Once in a while we'll get a boat, so anybody out there with a boat that wants to sell it. Now I've changed the rules a little bit. I have to go out to the boat. I have to do videos of the boat and make sure it's up to the standards that I want it to be before I can represent it. Not that they're all perfect and every boat that I touch is perfect. The Ranger, the 29 Ranger is a perfect example of it. You know, once these boats go to survey, you just never know what happens. We do have the 27 in survey. We have the 29 Ranger in survey. And then what else do I got closing? The Regency closed last week, the 37. And so pretty much all the boats that I have right now are sold except the main ship, the 2004 main ship that we just got the listing on that last week. But I do have a couple of people looking at it and interested in it, so we'll see how that one develops. I always like sharing that with you guys too, because actual real world numbers of what something sells for. I know the 27 Ranger, the 2021 27 Ranger is under contract at 180, and I know that the 2019 Ranger 29 is under contract at 260 plus 10K for the trailer. And then the main ship over here, the 2004 main ship, he's asking 215K for that, and it's probably the least expensive one on the market right now. We'll see how that goes, and I'll give you guys some real numbers as I get those numbers and I know it. Also, my insurance just an update for you guys that watch the videos, because we talk about getting insurance on these old trawlers gets harder and harder. And because this is a 1983 Marine Trader, I did get a policy, and the premium was $2,800 for full coverage, and it covers me for $80,000 on the boat and $20,000 property, so right at 100K. And the boat had a survey value of $96,000. Anyway, guys, I want to finish today's video by saying thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Hope this gives you a little bit of insight of who I am and what we're doing out here, because I'd really later on here as I don't know what's going to happen next. Anybody that really follows the channel knows that I would love to get on a bigger boat, like a 70-foot Fleming or something like that, and do the world, and whether that is as a paid gig from in the captain perspective, and maybe that's next week's video, because I've always wanted to talk about that on, does somebody hire a captain to take them out in these boats, and what would something like that look like, and what does it cost, especially for you guys that are interested in something like that. Even doing America's Great Loop, there's a lot of these captains. I don't know of any captain that specifically does America's Great Loop. I mean, I've done it twice, and a lot of these captains do the East Coast. Like I know that Aaron he's done the loop. I don't even know how many times, but he does different sections of it. I don't know if I'll have to ask him one day if he's ever actually somebody paid him to do America's Great Loop. Same thing with John. I don't think John's completed the entire loop. I'd have to ask him that question too. That'd be a good question for him. Because a lot of these captains run up and down the East Coast, or they'll run to somewhere in Michigan, and sometimes they'll be missing a small piece of the loop, which isn't a big deal. But for somebody that's run the actual, like I did it in my personal boat, where we were out there living it, stopping at the docks, and meeting the people from the different organizations and stuff like that. So that's my background, and then I did it as a paid captain once, and that was in a couple, breaking down and I want to say 4 different boats. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Something I don't do neither is ask for subscribers. You can see that my channel is really how do I want to say it? It's just like homegrown. I'm not pretty to look at. It is what it is, and I do the best I can do with the technology that I know, the equipment that I have, and I try and keep it as simple as I can. Otherwise, I would never get a video out. Anyway, I hope you guys appreciate it, and you guys that want to, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because we surely do appreciate it. And you guys, all the comments do matter, so I do appreciate all the comments that you guys leave. Anyway, thank you so much. If you have any questions, anybody needs any help selling a boat, buying a boat, looking at a boat, sometimes you guys can catch me down here. It doesn't always work out because weather is conditions. I got Larry out here. He came down for dinner yesterday, but I'm not on the boat. I'm working at Little Palm, and the weather has not been good these last couple of weeks. Just this wind is horrible every single day. So not everybody from the YouTube channel that comes out here gets to go for a ride on Southern Interstate, but we do try and get some of you guys out here when we can. When I have a day off and somebody shows up, they usually do get to go for a ride on Southern Interstate, and we're happy to do that for some people when we get the chance and the weather conditions are right. Anyway, peace out. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Love, peace, God bless you, and have a great week at work this week. And remember, you can be out here living the dream too. Is it a dream or is it a nightmare? Bye.